I'm like seconds from being ready. I thought I was ready and then I messed up. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I think I'm ready. Hi. Oh, jeez. See, I never know what I need to do to make sure that it looks sane. I thought the lighting looked fine when I like tested it earlier, but it's like, alright, we're gonna have to deal with. Maybe I'll just do it up and then I guess I'm down to one light in my room. There's a lot going on in LaRue world, but hi. Before we get started, I did want to preface why everything's happening the way it is. First of all, sorry I'm late. I actually had set up the stream to start exactly at 5. I decided to put on this shirt, which is from the SMT 5 Collector's Edition. And if you could hear me, I sound congested because it was a dusty shirt. I was like, there's some dust out here, but I should be able to get away with wearing it. But it triggered my allergies, so I was like sneezing for the last 10 minutes. But that being said, I'm good to go now, I guess. um, so I have this streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. The purpose of this is two things. I wanted to celebrate the fact that I'm now a year older. My birthday was on Wednesday. I remember when I first started Twitch streaming, I wanted this to be like a tradition of mine to just stream every birthday, because it's fun. I don't like doing a lot of things for my birthday, but I do like um, playing video games, I guess. So, that being said, again, the way that the other part of why I have to make this stream is because I gotta raise money. I gotta raise money because on Sunday, someone crashed into my car. It's really annoying, actually. Someone crashed into my car. My car was parked in front of my house. They lied to the police and myself by, saying they had insurance. They provided a AAA card, which is not the same thing as an insurance card, and and basically my insurance won't cover it due to a little loophole in my coverage. Basically, the stipulation was that I'm covered for uninsured motorists, but only if I'm in the car and I get hurt, which is such a weird stipulation. And since I wasn't in the car and I didn't get hurt, I'm not covered under my insurance. You know, so this is it's very annoying because my car, like now, especially now that I've been looking at cars to see what I could even get to in terms of a car. My car was pretty nice. It wasn't even a car I would choose to get normally because it was a CRV. It was a big SUV basically. But I grew to like it a lot, and now I don't have it. It was a very expensive car too, so now I have to buy another one. Um, Even with my savings, because I only have enough savings to like live for like general rule of thumb. Everyone should have, by the way. You should have enough savings in your savings account to live about 3 months. Like your cost of living should be covered for 3 months. With all that, I don't have enough money to buy a new car, so I had to do a GoFundMe, which is really annoying because I don't like asking for help generally, which is probably a flaw of mine. But I'm asking for help now. So if you do have it in you to help me, then you can either donate to the GoFundMe or You could I put a goal on YouTube, so you can go ahead and like try to hit the super chat goal. Yeah, he's right here. Or you can use, if you have Twitch Prime, you do a Prime sub or just a regular sub. Whatever you want, whatever you can do, would be very helpful. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. It it was cool. Like this birthday has been like a very mixed bag. I've been both very happy and also very angry. But yeah, without further ado, again, I said that phrase 3 times. I never say that phrase, but it's the only way I can transition. So we have a couple of things planned. I'm going to stream for 5 hours. My goal generally is that each hour I'm going to do something different, because I don't know if I could play like a full game. Like, my gaming sessions don't go 5 hours. Thank you, PNG. Oh my god, the first donation. Thank you so much. Um, my thing is, I don't play games for like really long periods of times. I used to when I was younger, but like now that I'm older, I don't really do it so much. Like, it took me a few weeks to beat Metaphor, even though I was super into it. I played it for like 2 or 3 hour sessions max. So I'm not gonna do a 5 hour session of one game. I downloaded every single like on Steam, because I like because I wanted to like show support to Atlas. I downloaded every single Atlas game that I have, including the Gmod games, which include the Persona mobile game. And basically, what I'll do is, based on what the vibe is, or like if there's like a big donation, I'll let that person choose what I do. Aside from playing games, I did set up my drawing tablet, and I haven't done digital art for a while, but I have set it up so I can do a commission. And since PNG is the first dono, you could choose what you want me to do. I have every single Steam Atlas game on my computer right now, and I can draw, but it'll only be for an hour. So PNG, if you're there still, go ahead and tell me what to do. uh, and then let me also leave I'll post a link to the GoFundMe if you guys do not have access to that. Do 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 do. It's here. But yeah. If I do draw, you can just I'll do what I'll do, like I'll draw a character. I'm not necessarily sure if I'm gonna do like a full fledged, like, like background and all that jazz. Just because like right now it'll only be like a 30 minute to an hour long drawing session. But yeah, um, which is crazy because right now, actually, if you go on Steam, a lot of the games are on sale. So I didn't have for some reason I didn't have the Etrian games. It was like $30 for all three, and I haven't tried it out yet. But if I do try it out, I will work on a video, and I think that's another thing I could do. I think that, draw. PNG is asking me to draw, and thus I will draw. But I am thinking that whatever game I play today are games. It might trigger some videos about those games. Especially if it's something like Etrian or Catherine, because I haven't played any of the Etrian games before, and I have played Catherine, but I definitely wanted to do a thing where I talk about the history of Catherine, because it's a really important history. Uh-oh. Of course, now my tablet's not turning on. Okay. 1 second. I'm going away for a second just to fix my tablet. I promise. Okay, it wasn't even that big of an issue. Quite literally, the only reason why it wasn't working is because I unplugged it by accident. Okay. Jormama, happy birthday, Larry. I want to know your thoughts on Basilio. I mean, I can talk about Basilio all day. Basilio is actually one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Atlas character of recent memory. Like, I like characters like Basilio. Another one that's very reminiscent of him to me is Jimenez from Strange Journey, who's also another one of my favorite characters. What I like about them so much is that they're complex. They have a fun, engaging story, but they're not like it feels more grounded in reality, and that's why I like it. Especially because in metaphor, they're talking about racism, they're talking about oppression, especially systemic oppression, and the story of Basilio and the Parapist in general. It's it's something that's kind of relatable to me, which is not a good thing. We shouldn't be relating to slave labor, but like it's relatable, and it really hit home for me, especially because also Basilio dresses nice. And for the record, I believe in my heart of hearts that Basilio is actually a wolf and not a cat. People keep saying he's a cat for some reason, and I don't understand why. He has a wolf tail, he has wolf ears, and his middle name indicates that he's a wolf. So, oh no, 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 no! Now you guys know I play. You guys know I still play Raid Shadow Legends without being sponsored by them. Okay, 1 second. 1 second. What is the thing? Which one is playing the? Which one is showing that you guys are? Is it this one? No. So I have so many capture thingies on my on this from I don't even know. Like it just seems like what I've been doing is just putting a bunch of different things to capture, and as a result now I have like a million capture things on the screen. It's Raid, and I'm not getting paid to play Raid. Okay, let me see. Painter tool Sai. This was my little test to make sure that my tablet was even working, because it's been so long since I've drawn that I just literally didn't know if it was. Um, let's see. Kind of wanted to cover, and I use Painter tool Sai, which is actually it's the same thing that Sojima uses when he draws. I believe he starts in Painter tool Sai, and he does like little effects and stuff elsewhere. See if I still have all my buttons working. Yep. Okay. If you don't mind, I'm gonna do a Black Frost because it is, it's one of the easiest things for me to draw, and I like drawing Black Frost. Let's zoom in. Okay. This is my first digital art piece in like 4 years, so be gentle. Let's see. Black Frost. Maybe I'll put some music on too. Hold on. I'm still kind of congested from the allergies. Also, so sorry if you didn't want that. Hmm. I think there's a study Megaten music like playlist. SMT study and chill. Okay. Actually, no. We'll do let's do this one. Relaxing SMT and Persona music. Okay. Okay, starting off with Nocturne. If the music is too loud, let me know. Or maybe it's just getting picked up by my thing. Hold on. I don't know why I constantly have to fix this. Hello. Maybe it's like leaking. Okay. Shinsekai from Raito. Maybe next. Alright. I don't like this one, so I like I like making these guys as pudgy as possible because I believe in my heart of hearts that the frosts are just infinitely cuter when they're pudgy. And I like giving him a massive head because I believe they should have big heads, you know? Again, it kind of aids with the cuteness. Um, maybe what I'll do is because I kind of want for something like a dynamic pose a little bit. My go-to is like a old school walk animation. So I always like if you notice, I do this a lot, where they're just kind of walking like to nowhere, but I like it because it makes it feel like they're moving. Okay. All right. Maybe giving him these little squiggly legs is kind of like a win. I do like the idea that he's got really tiny little legs. All right. And then I kind of want to full screen this, but I will not be able to see chat. So shout from the heavens if you're trying to tell me something. Okay. So generally, when I do art digitally, I do it the same way I do it traditionally. I do a sketch, and then I draw on top of it cleaner, and then yeah, and then I usually just work on one layer. I'm gonna turn this down a smidge, and let me try this again. I feel like the audio levels are kind of weird. Maybe like that. Is that good? Ooh. Yeah, he looks a little devious. He looks like he's up to no good. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. And another idea that I had for this stream initially was that I was going to do or maybe I'll put my face on this too so you guys can see me. Oh no, you can't see me. But another idea I had for this stream was I was going to initially do one where I'm drawing or something, but I decided not to, or not drawing, drumming. But I was like, I'm not really known for being a drummer. I post drum videos every once in a while when I remember, but I don't know. But yeah. So I believe so. I chose this playlist partly because I recognize the name of the person whose YouTube channel this is. I don't know if they make content. Oh, what was that? I don't know if they make content, but they definitely are. Oh wow! Thank you, Forte Preza. Let me read what you said. Sorry, I'm so bad at this. Just wanted to say that your Black Makoto Yuki art meant so much to me to see as someone who holds PV or P3 very close to the point where I'm legit looking to get locks in that style. Thank you, and I hope this helps even a little bit. Thank you, and yes, I'm glad that you liked it because my thing is that whole discourse around like, oh, you know, they're making black people and things. What a bad thing. It's like no, like it's a good thing actually, and it's kind of fun. Like the idea that there is some sort of like concerted effort to like blackwash is ridiculous, especially if you know anything about media history, especially as it relates to film. Because for most of film history, there's just been a whitewashing. It's why in movies about Egypt, there's always British white people instead of like, you know, people who are actually a little more melanated who would have been in that region at the time. Like it's, I don't know, it's ridiculous, frankly. So when people started doing that, especially as it relates to like video games and anime, I was like, all because of the Dandadan guy. Like it made me really mad because I was like, this Dandadan has like black influence, and the black influence is especially seen in the music that people seem to really like. I don't know, it just bothered me a lot. Thank you a lot for the $20. That's crazy. If you want, you could choose what I do next after I'm done drawing this Black Frost. And you're lucky that you can get locks, by the way, because I don't have the hair texture for it. I have like 2C hair, which is just spiral curls, which I like. I like my hair a lot, but I can't do the thing that I want to do, which I would love to have locks. I don't know if I have the energy for locks though. I feel like people with locks have like a certain vibe about them, and I don't have that cool guy vibe. I have like that very dorky vibe. Not a bad vibe, mind you. I like being dorky, but you know. I got all the big parts down. My thing about Black Frost is I've drawn him so much. Same thing with Jack Frost is that I could draw them with no reference, and I could draw them in every pose possible, just because I'm so familiar with how they're supposed to look. Except as I'm saying that, I literally messed up right here, but you know, we live and we learn. Hold on, I can't even see if you guys are playing. White Egyptians. It's like a bunch of things, to be honest. Like that whitewashing thing. It's not. They did it for Asian characters as well. Like the most famous one is that Mr. Uniyoshi with what's the name of that actor that played him? Mickey Rooney. We had of course we had a lot of characters who are people who were white playing black characters as well. And then there's all these issues with rewriting history in order to make the casting make sense. So they'll cast like a white person to play a black or a brown person, and they'll just change that the characters like history. And they've done that for actual like real people as well. Like I believe Erin Brockovich was like Hispanic or Latin, and they made her white. You know, it's that kind of thing. So, not to get too deep into that discourse, but it genuinely bothers me because it's just fighting over nothing. Like the whole purpose of that fighting is just to make people, you know, like hate each other and sow division, and it ignores history. No, that's a bad stroke. Nope. I like just fix this. So I haven't used this tablet, like I said, in like 4 years. So I had to like reconfigure it and everything. and I try to set up the hotkeys. One is like delete, or one is undo, one is select all, one is delete. And then I didn't know what to do with the other one, so the other one doesn't do anything. Sorry, this song is a little loud for me. Couldn't fit it into the chat, but yeah, this is the kind of rep I've been wishing for since. Yeah, my thing is that's part of why when I like it when black representation is done well, because you know, me growing up, I'm like significantly older than you guys, most likely. But for me, there was never representation, not really, especially not in media that I was like super into. Like that's why like when I was a kid, we were more likely to associate with like the Ninja Turtles or like other like non-human characters. Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z was another one that I remember. Like as a kid, we would be like, "Yeah, he's black. He's definitely black." And it was like just off of vibes. But I think now you can't. I don't know if people get mad if you say Piccolo's black, but we used to say that all the time when I was a kid. Try to think of other characters. This one's kind of like a weird one, but I know Kuwabara is literally not black, but we would say that he's black too. Kuwabara from Dragon Ball Z. As for a character to draw, Seraph. Oh, okay, that's funny because I love drawing Seraph. All right, you're lucky because I usually don't draw humans, which is why like most of my art tends to be demons and personas. But I'll draw Seraph next. The crazy thing is, I don't think Shoji Meguro is like a bassist at heart, but or like a bassist in practice. But he does really good bass. Like the bass line in this song, Nevermore, is super good. But it's that way for almost all of his like songs. If you really listen to the bass line, it's so groovy, and it really has to do with his like love for jazz. Especially American jazz. Like for instance, for Persona 3, some of the inspiration for the music was Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson Bad, that album specifically. And you can hear it. You can hear the influence in the music, but it's also very much like a unique experience too, because Meguro has his own like artistic identity that you can hear in the music, and I like that a lot. That's part of why I like Meguro's music, and I'm kind of sad that he's focusing on game development. I'm proud that he's doing something he actually wants to do, but if I'm honest, the game that he's making doesn't look that good. I'm debating if I'm gonna put the hole there. No hole. Come on. Okay. I mean, I can rant and rave about Meguro music, but then people will still get. I'm probably one of the only people who really, really, really likes Shadow World from Persona 4 Golden. Oh no, that looks terrible. I gotta zoom in. Not that much. Let's use a smaller brush. I know people complain about beanpole mouth or whatever, but I like this kind of mouth shape. I've always been a very big fan of old animation because when I was younger, I wanted to be an animator myself. So I gravitated towards like the old animation art style. So I've always liked beanpole mouth, which is why a lot of times when I draw the frost, I give them this mouth because to me it's very cute. I gotta find like a happy medium because I'm constantly minimizing to see the chat. Shadow World is good. The harmonica is Mimi. Don't say it. But my dead dad used to play harmonica a lot. So I have a hot soft spot for that instrument. Sorry your dad died, but that is a crazy way to phrase that sentence. I would not have said my dead dad, but you know, to each their own. My thing is, I've always liked folk. So, okay. I'm a big history buff when it comes to American history as it relates to black people because, you know, I'm black. So, so knowing my own history is important to me. But I'll say that like I like harmonica and a lot of other of those instruments just because I've always liked folk and country as it relates to you know, like black history. So I like that song just on the merit of it sounding like a good song, and also because I like the instrument, the harmonica. I've always liked it, and no one's gonna change my mind. All right. So usually when I paint, I like to do I like to do this concept where you use contrasting colors to blend. So I would make so if the thing is purple, I would use a contrasting color to add depth, or I would blend in the contrasting color. But since I'm pressed for time, I'm gonna kind of do this very simply. I'm saying pressed for time because if you guys are just tuning in, I want to rotate between different things. So each hour I'm gonna do something different because I'm only gonna be streaming from for 5 hours. So I'm trying to like get as much done as possible, essentially. Like I don't want to move on to another drawing without this one being like complete. Is what I'm trying to say. So instead of going crazy complicated, I'm gonna try to go simple. Which sucks because if I'm doing watercolor in real life, I could do this in like I could do this whole drawing in like 10 minutes. You're good. You're good. Hi Phil, how you doing? I just you're good. It was just kind of like it was kind of a crazy thing to say. Okay, I'm trying to see if this will blend out the way I want. It's been so long, like I've lived in physical like drawing and painting for so long that I like part of why I like using Painter Tool Sai is that it kind of mimics the way I did it anyway. Because it's blending the way I blend when I'm doing like actual watercolor. And the pen pressure helps me get there and stuff. But it just feels weird because it doesn't feel like I'm actually doing it the way I want. But it's kind of working, so I don't know. This version of Painter Tool Sai that I'm using is like super old too. This is the version that I first got like when I first started doing digital art in the early 2000s. I used to be one of those DeviantArt fan artists. Basically, all of my DeviantArt art was just fan art of stuff. But my fan art was like all Pokemon and like a couple of Persona stuff. Like it would, so like in my DeviantArt days, I used to be super active in like there's basically it's like a role playing contest where you essentially would make your own Pokemon trainer, and you would go through like this like crazy made up Pokemon league, and my character was he was a Pokemon trainer who only used Magikarp. And since I had to come up with a backstory, I made him the son of the character in the original Pokemon games, who sells you a Magikarp in Mount Moon. And I was like somewhat popular. It was a very funny time. I think that's where I did most of my digital art. I even had one piece of digital art go viral before I started making a lot of any kind of content really, and it was a picture of Magikarp and Metapod fighting, and I put something like, "Oh, the battle that'll never end," even though it would definitely end. But in the early internet days, I saw it floating around a lot, and I was like, "Ugh, someone took off my name. I didn't get no credit for that." But I don't know why I'm telling you guys this. Honestly, Shadow World grew on me a lot. I like pursuing my true self. Good, like it's very good, but I think Shadow World captures the energy of Persona 4 a lot more accurately. I'm still using your McCoy art from 3 years ago. Oh, thank you, Phil. I mean, I like that art a lot too. I actually have it pinned on my wall. I should probably just mail that to you, to be honest. But I think you're living in Japan, right? Maybe you'll. I'm doing a big Japan trip in 2020. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm doing it anymore now that I have all this additional like thing. But I was planning on doing one next year, or 2027. I was gonna go for like at least 3 weeks. I often wonder where a lot of deviant. You know what's crazy is some of them just became like professional artists. One of the artists that I constantly dunk on because I hate how he got his start is Ilya. I forgot his last name, but he's the one that did the he was like the lead artist for the newest. Dang, what did he do? He's a lead artist for Shoji Meguro's game, but he also did Ghost in the Shell, like a really ugly, like the art style is so fugly. It's a anime that he got to be the like art director on, and he got his art start in Deviant Art, and I remember him because I hated him for tracing. Hey, Gatane. Like I genuinely didn't like Ilya because he was a tracer. What he would do is he would look at art and he would just basically trace it, and he would look at people and he would just trace them. Which, for the record, when you're painting or drawing, you're like a competent artist will definitely use reference, but it's always good etiquette to be like, oh yeah, here's the reference that I used. But since he just didn't do that, like it didn't matter to people because the concept of like tracing and stuff is so not understood by people who aren't artists that they don't. A lot of people don't understand why it's a problem or why it's bad. Just like how a lot of people don't understand why AI is a problem. They'll be like, "Oh well, you'll just be better at art." It's like that's not the solution. That's not the solution. Come on. And thank you for the compliment. I I'm trying to like go fast, but I can't stop looking to see, like what you guys are saying. Filthy's coming. Oh no! So just a reminder, if you guys didn't hear it or don't know, this stream is supposed to help fundraise for me getting a new car. So if you can, you can if you're on Twitch, you can definitely like use like a Prime sub, or you could donate to the GoFundMe. And if you're on YouTube, you could super chat, or you could donate to the GoFundMe also. For the YouTube one, it's in the description, and I'll post the link here for. Oh, did not post that link. How do you post a link? Okay, 1 second. I'll post a link to the fundraiser in a second. And as you can, I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm still super congested. It's kind of annoying. It's actually for my Alex Hans. Oh yeah, yep. Those are some good artists. Uh, One of my friends is an animator, or was an animator for Skullgirls, and they're pretty cool. I was actually supposed to hang out with them, but I got sick. The other you guys don't realize, or you guys don't know how bad my like luck has been this past couple years in terms of health, in terms of just like overall stuff happening. I've been having terrible like everything. So one of the major things that happened last year is I had crazy stomach problems. Um, was diagnosed with a stomach ulcer. So basically, what that felt like is I basically couldn't eat for like almost a month. So I lost like 40 something pounds, which is not healthy. Like it's not a good way to lose weight at all. 0 out of 10 would not recommend it. Essentially, I constantly felt very nauseous and weak. I couldn't lay down flat. I had to use a elevated pillow, and yeah, I actually almost died in the hospital too because I started to asphyxiate, meaning that I started to choke and I wasn't able to breathe. And while I'm dying, by the way, while I'm out here, like literally, like when you faint, what it does is your eyes get black on the sides and then it starts to go like this, like it fades in. And while as that's happening to me, as I'm hearing over the intercom, they're calling a code, whatever. They call me by my wrong name. They don't call me by the right name, and it's so annoying because I'm like, we just had a full-fledged conversation where you said my name repeatedly, and now that I'm about to die, the last thing I'm gonna hear is this incorrect name. You asking me if I'm gonna be okay, but you're using the wrong name. It was genuinely upsetting. Like the thought that the last thing I was gonna hear was someone saying my name incorrectly. It's kind of like, and when I say incorrectly, I mean like it was just a completely different name. They weren't mispronouncing it. So anyway, that happened to me of January of last year, and then I got better. I started eating like insanely healthy. I've always eaten relatively healthy, but as a direct result of that, I started eating like crazy healthy. So to the point where I was eating 3 or 4 servings of veggie a day. I was eating like, I mean, I still eat kind of like that, and I was eating like 40 to 80 grams of fiber a day. Which, if you don't eat fiber, you need to make sure you're eating fiber because, like, it's most humans, especially Americans, don't eat enough fiber. You're supposed to eat at least 20 grams a day. It helps keep you full. It also helps with digestion, and it helps prevent cancer actually. So definitely would recommend it. But anyway, November of last year, ulcers come back, but worse. So I wasn't to the point where I had to get hospitalized or anything because I already knew what was gonna happen. So I just told my doctors and I started the medication again. So I was able to curb it a little bit, but it hurt way more than the first time. Thank you. Oh, I don't know how to say your name. ORNG creator. Thank you so much for the 1999. Oof. But the point is, on I got really close to dying again, except this time it was more painful because the whole time that I had the stomach ulcers, I basically was experiencing a dull ache at first, and then it got more and more intense. So at first it was basically like right towards like the middle of my chest and a little lower. I would just feel like a constant like pain. If it was on a pain scale of 1 to 10, like it was always like at like a 3 or 4. But then as the month went on and I was not able to eat as much, the pain got significantly worse to the point where it was like I was constantly experiencing like 7 or 8 out of 10 pain. In November, it was almost constant 9 out of 10 pain, and I couldn't take any pain medication because pain medication often affects your stomach, and they didn't want to risk me getting some sort of stomach issue or exacerbating the stomach issue. So it was bad. Like it was very bad again. And now we're at the point where they're doing even more exploration because it's unusual for me to get. Oh, just orange. Oh, hi Ziggy. Which I'm sorry that I made a Patreon and then went inactive, but I am working on a video. But this whole story explains why why I haven't been making anything. So while I've been dealing with that, I haven't been able to do anything. When I was like both times that I've had the stomach ulcer was bad, but the second time I was essentially bedridden the whole day. So I would wake up and then I would basically sit in bed until it was time to go to sleep again. I would try to drink water. I would usually throw it up. I would try to drink or eat rice. I would throw it up. And I'm someone who counts their calories very often. So as I'm counting my calories, I was literally taking in about 100 calories or less a day. The only thing that I was able to really stomach was like apple juice or apple sauce. And even then, like I got sick of it because eating applesauce every day for an extended period is not good. I wouldn't recommend it either. But in addition to the car incident, I'm now kind of at the point where they're exploring what's causing all these stomach issues, and they've rolled out all the basic stomach stuff, and now they're on the more serious, like life ruinous stuff. So the big C word, cancer, is one of the things that they're thinking I might have. So I have a whole bunch of procedures in February to test for various types of cancer. Yeah, it's just been like it's not necessarily like I'm not trying to elicit a response necessarily. I did want to explain like why my videos have went from being like at one point I was making 2 videos a week and now I'm making maybe 2 videos a year. And I need you guys to understand that it's not for lack of trying. It's because I'm quite literally just not well right now. And then the constant bad luck. So right now we're exploring if it's cancer or not. I won't know until the end of February because we're doing all of the different cancer tests as it pertains to specifically digestive tract. Hopefully it's not, but you can only you can only hope. Um, so that's the other thing that I've been dealing with in addition to the car stuff. So it kind of leaves me unable to do much, especially because some of the prep for different testing requires me to do and be a certain way. Um, Ever since that second round of stomach ulcer, I've just not felt the same. Like I'm constantly tired, and it's really bad. Like to the point where like just imagine when you wake up from a sleep that you didn't really get a restful sleep from. You know that feeling where you just feel like you need to keep going, you need to stay sleeping, otherwise you're gonna be tired all day. That's the feeling I have all day. Like that's the feeling I have every day, and I haven't regained my appetite either. I've been just eating because I know I'm supposed to eat, but I'm not actually hungry. And both of those signs are not good signs in terms of cancer. But I'm hoping that it's not that, obviously, because I don't want it to be the case. Because that would be again, it'd be life ruinous. Anyway, so that's that. That's been my 2024, which is why I said something insane like 2024 is my worst year or something like that, just because it's been so scary, and been so stressful. And then on top of that, my doctors aren't particularly good at their job. Like they're pretty dismissive. I would have probably had them do more in terms of figuring out what's wrong with me the first time, but they were so dismissive about it being an issue at all because they kept just saying that I'm super young, so none of this is normal. And I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why you're supposed to help me figure it out as my doctor. But yeah, they haven't been particularly helpful, and it kind of sucks because I'm like, I'm supposed to be searching for like a new doctor, but I haven't been able to do that because of this whole stomach stuff, or this whole car thing. Now, I can stop talking about this, by the way, if it's like too much. And also, thank you, Phil. I hope I can also stay healthy. You don't understand. Like the craziest thing is I'm at the pinnacle of my health. So like, I'm like the strongest I've ever been. I've been eating the healthiest I've ever been, and I've been sleeping like like the 8 hours or whatever they're supposed to be sleeping. Like my life is centered around being healthy. Kind of always has been that way. but it's kind of gotten more intense as the concern has been growing. You know. All right, let's see. So I was supposed to only draw this for like an hour, but since I started late, I'm slightly off my time. Let's see. But all that being said, even with all of that, I did indeed finish 2 scripts. I finished my review video script for Metaphor. It's a very long script because I just had a lot to say. And especially because if you watch my scripts or my videos on like Soul Hackers 2, I try to be comprehensive in a way that I don't see other people be when they talk about video games. A lot of like video game reviews tend to be very superficial, but because I have very specific things that I expect from an Atlas title, I talk about all of it. So I go over basically everything from basic combat and how that works and what I think about it, to more like menial things that only like people who are super into Megaten or something might think to care about. I try to be as holistic as possible, but also without being boring. But that video is probably going to be the one I record first because it's been the one that I was supposed to make a long time ago, and Atlas was actually expecting me to do that, so I'm going to do that. On the plus side, in addition to that, I'm almost done reading the book from the original founder of Atlas. So I'm beefing up my video that's a script regarding the history of Atlas's founding. That one will probably be the next one. And both these videos are going to be hours long, by the way. And then I'm hoping to get to the Persona 3 history video soon. That one is multiple hours, and that one is going to be the big beefy one. I think they're all, I mean, yeah, Gnarly and Nom, I haven't heard them or seen them talk about it. And that's actually been weird because they should have made if they wanted to like kind of hit the algorithm, they should have made the videos like, they should have already been made those videos. But I'm guessing they're either making some comprehensive videos or they're focusing on other projects. But yeah, on the plus side on my end, I do have like a lot of like stuff that I've been able to write for. It's just that I haven't really been able to record and all that jazz. That's my main detractor. I think that's holding me back. But I have written quite a few scripts, and then I have written some sequels to scripts that I think people might care about. Like I made an update to the Jack Frost plush video, mostly because I got way more Jack Frost plushes, but also because a lot of Jack Frost plushes came out, and some were sent to me because of that video. Fan Gamer and I don't know the name of the company, but another company sent me the Jack Frost plushes that came out in the last couple years. And I was meaning to write reviews on them, but it's like not really my thing to do a review. Sorry for your Van Wreck, my Deviant Artist Summer Bond. You know, I'm gonna look you up, Summoner Bond, right now. But that's such a random thing to say that I kind of want to know. Yeah. Unless you're a bot. Okay. So you're not a bot. And you do art that's kind of like landscapes. Okay. Cool, very cool. I have looked at your art. Thanks for, I guess, promoting yourself. I don't know. I don't know. That's very random of you. But your art's pretty cool. And now I forgot where I put my pen, which is crazy because I was just holding it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, your art's is it's pretty unusual for me because I've not really seen that kind of like collage slash like almost photography look. Okay, let's see. I feel like this fist isn't big enough. No, it's about the same size actually. But after this drawing, I will draw Seraph from DDS2, which is pretty cool because the DDS2 anniversary just passed, and it'll be cool to shed some light on that. Hi, Nawel. Nawel. All's well that Nawel's. Yeah, thank you guys again for like even stopping by. No, I'm not drawing Joker. Well, actually, I can see myself drawing Joker, but the rules of this stream so far are basically every hour or so I'm gonna switch it up and do something different. After this one, I'm drawing Sarah from DDS2, and that was because of a donation request. What I'm trying to do is let people who donate to me kind of dictate and help change the pace of the stream. Mostly because I'm trying to get donations because of all the extraneous circumstances I pointed out. And that's kind of my modus operandi. Though I'm not taking another drawing request after the Seraph, just because, like, no. In addition to all those other problems, I have like really sensitive wrists and my hand gets tired pretty easily. That's why I stopped doing digital art because I can't move fast enough to finish an art piece. Whereas I can finish like several watercolor pieces in like an hour because watercolor I can move way faster, and it'll look more complete than something I could do in an hour in digital. Like I used to love doing digital artwork actually. Initially, I used to love it a lot because it was fun and it was fast. But then when I got comfortable with watercolor, it became faster. So I don't do it as much, you know. But so after the Seraph, I probably will move on to playing a video game. And since dang, what's all going on? Thank you for the follow. This oh no, you guys can still see that I'm playing. I didn't realize that you were able to see every time that I minimize that I'm actually playing Raid Shadow Legends in the background. Sponsor me, Raid. I think I'm the only person in the world that plays that game on purpose for enjoyment. But if you're still here, Forte, yours is coming up soon. And then Orange, if you can pick what game. Basically, the games I have on queue are basically all the Atlas titles that are available on Steam. Basically, I'll play any at your leisure. The grind, yeah. I know it's so pathetic, but I can't. I like Raid Shadow Legends. It's okay. I'll justify why I like Raid Shadow Legends. It's because I like repetitive, simple games. Like that's one of my favorite things. Like, you know, it's not surprising to me that, for instance, Cosmo Conico said one of his favorite games is Tetris. I understand it because like the simple repetitive type game is like soothing in a way. Actually, games like Tetris can be used to treat PTSD, and have been successfully used to treat PTSD in like what do you call it, former military. So I'm justifying that. That's why I like Raid Shadow Legends. It's because it's repetitive and simple like Tetris for me, and it's helping me. It's getting me through a lot. No, it's a good game. I promise. Just believe me. Okay. Give him some depth. Oh, see? It's funny that you mentioned that, Phil, because I learned that in my psychology class too. Tetris is good, but Tetris music is better. I don't know why I'm saying that like I am actually wait, hold on. Okay. I like lost my train of thought because I got a weird text. That kind of ruined the drawing. I like to add a little bit of highlight to his like. My assumption on what Black Frost and Jack Frost are is they're literally comprised of snow, but I'm assuming that for Black Frost, his snow is just evil snow, so it's dark. Which I don't necessarily like the racial implications of dark being evil necessarily. Because some of the best people I know are dark. But my assumption is that he's supposed to be like snow. And one of these days, I'm gonna draw like a very textured version of Jack Frost, where you can actually see the little snow texture. Because when you, yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Oh, this song is so good. This is the Rhino ending theme, if you didn't know. It might be the best ending theme, to be honest. No, Jormama, what did you say? I want to know. I wouldn't want to be near Lemon Frost. See, my thing about those frosts is like, I didn't necessarily understand it because I didn't really understand that. I guess like those snow flavors are common in Japan and also in like in Hawaii as well. Mostly because I've just never really thought, oh, I can't wait to eat some flavored snow. It's not really a thing here, at least not where I live. So to me, I literally did think, lemon frost. It's like lemon, you know, lemon. You know, it's not like I didn't think it was real lemon at first. But you know, that messed it up. Maybe that's too much. I'm gonna probably give this drawing another 10 minutes or so. Then I'm gonna move on to the serif. But I actually have to like look up serif because I know what they look like generally, but I don't remember what the tattoo looks like. I think it's like, actually I can probably draw it. I think serif's tattoo is like this, with like a bite thingy here and a bite thingy here, and then like this. That's what I. We'll see if that's what it actually looks like. It'll be very funny if that's not. But it'll also be very funny if that's accurate, considering I haven't played Digital Devil Saga in like years. Actually, I was live streaming it. Phil might remember. I was live streaming playing it, but you know, Yeah, I'm from Southeast Asia, but I don't remember it being such a thing. I know over here we have something similar, but it's not the same. It's raspado. Not necessarily the same, I don't think, or at least not similar enough. But I don't know. Maybe it's just not a Filipino thing as much, and maybe that's why. But it isn't. It's not shaved in the same way because the way that I've seen it in Japan, it's way more like finely. I don't know. Like it doesn't feel like it's the same thing. It feels like it's just a little different. Though, if I'm honest, when I was in Japan, I didn't try it because I was more interested in the actual ice cream. I like shaved ice, but I'm not like it's not my thing. How do I feel about the Rhino remastered leaks? I feel like they're annoying. Where's the games? Like, hurry up and reveal the games. That's how I feel about it. Is this? Oh, this is the Devil Survivor song, isn't it? I think it's also the ending theme. Oh no, it's Sad Seeing, but it's Devil Survivor. Oof. Okay, so we got like 5 more minutes on this drawing, so we try to get the shoes, which I had neglect. I didn't even finish the hat. Oh man, it sucks. The thing is, though, now that I've used this Black Frost to warm up, the presumably the other drawing, the serif will be a lot better because now I've done the time. The back of his or the bottom of his shoes are yellow. Wasn't telling anyone in particular, just saying. For the record, I didn't know raspado meant shaved. I just know that that's what the like the drinks were called when the elote man comes. But I do feel like they're different, and I'll die on that hill. And then I like to put the little rim. Nope, that's blending it is not a good idea. Maybe what I'll do is I'll add texture if I have time. If I have time, I'll add texture. The only that I'm sorry, Jormama, you gotta listen to more Devil Survivor. Devil Survivor music is so good. Okay, Forte, SMT 1 and 2, they're very short plays in my opinion. I would just hop on. You can beat both those games in like under 40 hours. All right, we're just gonna do a very simple blend because I'm wasting all my time on this one shoe. But it's because I want it to look nice. Even though I'm not going to finish it. I know I'm not going to finish it, but I want it to look finished. Uh, Oof, that shoe doesn't make sense. Okay, we're all just going to agree that the shoe looks good as it is. Oh no. Got like 2 more minutes. Ugh. Okay, well that's it doesn't look too bad actually for not being done. But let me add a background. I like putting black frost on green backgrounds. No particular reason. It's just what I like to do. Like, doesn't he look cool in a green background? Am I wrong? Who was the first one? I believe it was PNG. This was PNG's request. They didn't specifically request Black Frost, but I committed to Black Frost because I knew that it'd be something I could do in less than an hour. Okay, I'm gonna put this in a cage. Boop. I don't need a cage for the other one yet. Okay. Black Frost. First Black Frost of the year. Actually, I think this might be my... No, it's my second. It's like my second Megaten fan art of the year. Because I drew... who did I draw? I drew somebody. Okay, I'm looking up Seraph real quick because I don't remember the specifics. Okay. It sucks because there's not that much official art for Seraph. I think it's just like two. No, it's just one piece. And it's the one for like that one manual or guide or whatever. Why is there so much AI art of Megaton? Who is doing that? Like, who is the one that is, like, genuinely, who is the one generating all these Megaton AI arts? Because I need to talk to you. This is not okay. Thank you, everybody. I'm glad you like it, PNG in particular, because it wasn't your request, but you requested that I draw. So it's like tangentially your request. Okay. Okay. Actually, the smarter thing is I should put the serif on my phone, and then look at my phone, and then full screen this. Let's see how center this so it's like that. And I already know that I'm gonna use like a deep blue for a serif. Their background will be deep blue, or at least a blue that I like. Okay, we can't see this guy anymore. Dang, I keep misplacing my pencil. And then before you guys criticize my color choices, remember I don't know if I can just toss it out as like an excuse. I'm colorblind, so. And colorblind doesn't mean what people usually think it means. It basically just means that of the three codes that work in our eyes, one of mine is damaged, so the colors don't display the way they're supposed to display. Kind of think of it as if someone like punched your monitor and then all the colors were just slightly off for forever. That's how my eyes are permanently. So you're not allowed to criticize my color choices because I literally can't. I can't. Gonna try and stay as long as I'm gonna have to leave semi soon. 9:26 there. Oh, you haven't slept? Okay. How about I'll power through it. I could definitely get pretty close to finish on your thing. If you can stay for like 30 minutes, I'll probably just do like a bust up portrait. That way I can for sure finish it. Also means that for like 30 minutes I'm not going to look at chat. So if you guys are saying something funny or educational or responding to what I'm saying, I'm not going to see it for like 30 minutes because I want to power through this one. Okay. I say power through like it's something bad, but I enjoy drawing. I genuinely do. Okay, so we'll do like I want to do a complicated thing like their hands praying. Maybe I'll do like a American praying instead of the Japanese like anime thing where they do the hands conjoined like that. I would do that because it looks better. But I like the idea of them praying just because the song "Pray." Let me see if that song's in this playlist. It would help me focus. Uh, Come on, light shines from the heaven. I don't see it. I see inherit will. That's not that. Bro, they don't have it. This guy, his playlist was super good until I learned that they don't have pray. Sorry, I'm derailing the stream real quick because I want to hear pray now. I've kind of hyped it up in my head with his Atma hands. Oh, that would be kind of no. That would be good for like if I was trying to do it like just a fun exercise, but I wouldn't be able to do it. Like nah, you got to go buy orange. And hi, Raxon, thank you for the birthday wishes. Okay, okay. And I keep saying they because I'm not necessarily sure. Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn off my alarms for my phone, and usually I have like several alarms, especially for Saturday. Okay, so we'll do and then the hands pray. I just don't like, I just don't like the praying thing. Okay, maybe I'm overcomplicating it. I'll just do a very big head. That way I can guarantee that I finish this drawing. uh, Maybe like right there. Okay. Can I do reductives? Whoa. Huh. Sorry, I think my computer like just lagged for a second because if you didn't know, if you don't know what how hectic my computer usage is, I have over like 100 tabs open at like all times. At all times throughout the day. My computer has a lot of RAM just so I can keep all these tabs open without worry. And in the past it was because I was researching, but right now I'm not doing any research. It's kind of just all like that, just because of insanity, not because of any logic or anything. Okay. It's because yeah, the reason why they use they makes sense. I still want to. I'm trying to delicately tread on this character because I don't want to spoil the game for anyone who hasn't played it. You know what I mean? I'm one of those like I know people will say something like, "Oh, this game was made like 40 years ago," but it's like no, like there's people who watch things without expecting to just get a spoiler for a game that they plan to play eventually. Maybe I'll do like a hand here. Something like that. And then I can't believe I got their little cutie mark right. Cause it's like that. And then don't worry, this is just me planning it out. This is not the final art. Like I wouldn't dare be like, oh yeah, I finished it in time. Like it's done. Okay, back to the actual playlist. See, but you got to tell me why you have 326 tabs open because my excuse is for research. Usually, what I do when I'm working on a video is I'll open all the tabs relating to that, and then as I finish reading those articles or those sites or whatever, I save the link, I put it in the script, and then I delete the tab. That's the logic that I normally run with. That's how I justify it. But how are you justifying having 326 tabs open? Also, forgive me if this is ugly because I usually don't draw people. Like 90% of the time, I'm drawing like cartoon characters and especially cats. It's partially because of preference, but I also think I backed myself into a corner where I'm not strong enough with my people, my anatomy, and I don't find it interesting, so I don't like doing it usually. But I think because I'm not that good at it, I feed into the not wanting to do it by just being mediocre at it. But it's because every time I start drawing a human, I'm like, man, imagine if they were a cat. Imagine if I was doing something else. But I'm already enjoying this. I do like drawing Seraph just because I like Seraph as a character. I'm trying to like, what is the name of that lighting style where you have the triangle? I know Nawal knows. Okay. Also, funny enough, I don't know if you guys follow Crystal, but I know what their next cosplay is gonna be, and it's something cool. Ooh. Oh no, I'm doing the pose. My reason is related stuff. Researching. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty similar to what I do. I just keep all the research stuff related. All right, research stuff open. All right. I don't I don't necessarily like the chin being so chinny. So soften it. Then probably need this. This one's open jawed and this one's kind of slack. This one's like that. I think it's 3 rings, not 2. Oh. I think it's 3 rings, not 2. So I might have to add another one. So let's see, it's like 1. And then 2. And then 3. See, skin tone is a tricky thing too, because they're kind of pale. They're like the Kaneko. Kaneko, when he draws a person, he's like, I wonder how close I could get it to approach to white before it's wrong, you know. Also, I have no idea if you guys are seeing the screen the way it's supposed to be. I'm assuming it is. Okay, yeah, you are. Okay, good. But that's the whole Kaneko thing. He's like, oh, how white can I get this white character or this light skinned character? Which presents its own little challenges. Okay, if I remember correctly, this. Yeah, okay. So something like that. And then they have like a all right. Maybe I made them too man-ish. Make the cheek a little higher. And they also have two of these thingies. I think one is black and the other one is not black. So in this pose, they'd both be visible probably. And then I could be looking up, I guess. Looking up to nowhere, being all worried. I've tried to trim it down. Bookmarks are not that useful in my opinion. That's why I personally don't really use bookmarks, because it's like, is this really the best way to like organize the data when I know, oh, this window with these tabs are all like Persona 3. This window with these tabs are all Soejima. Like I already have a system. Like my system works for me. It's just that it's like I know it's not the most efficient. All right. Oh, I didn't realize I was using the same color. And then in theory, this will actually make sense and it'll look cool, but like hair texture is another thing that I'm not like. It's not my best. It's not the best tool in my toolbox. Okay, and then. See, listen to that bass line. It's so good. Okay. Yeah, here's where I struggle. Okay. Like, I know how to do the hair texture if I was doing it on watercolor. I feel so, like, limited. Alright. If you guys are just joining, this is my birthday / fundraising stream. I've had a myriad of misfortune recently befall me, and I'm trying to do what I can to help not be so struggling. Part of that stuff is the whole car incident. Part of the stuff is my just like impending medical situations. But you know, trying to be positive, and I like the idea of streaming on my birthday. I think it's fun. And I'll probably just stream more often just because this is like the easiest thing I could do in terms of like actually be present. Because I know I'm not even that active on Twitter anymore. Mostly because I hate Twitter. Like Elon Musk has made Twitter so unlikable. And it was already not that good of a site to begin with. But now I'm like, I hate going on Twitter. And it doesn't matter how many people I block, I still get like all these dumb, racist and bigoted takes all over my feed. Accidentally removed the back of their head. It is. This is a really good song in general, but I like it. Wait, this is Tokyo Daylight. I don't know. I don't even know what song you're talking about actually, because I don't know the names of all these songs. Um, oh, what's going on was the song I played before it. Yeah, it is. That one's also a chill song. I like it. I like it because it does help for focus. You know. Okay. I'm trying to see if I can just blend and create texture, or at least the implied texture. But it's like not necessarily working out the way I thought it would. It's kind of yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have tried to go for such a style. Actually, let me just get rid of those. Let's see. I know the suit's textured. I just wanted to lay in the general color before I go back in. Okay, I think I went too hard with trying to push the darkest darks. What song is this? This has to be for like Devil Survivor. Nope, Digital Devil Saga. Wow. Constantly surprised. Um, thanks, Nawa. I'm like not sure because, yeah, my my like lack of skill with digitally painting is like coming through now. At least digitally painting with characters that are actually human. I feel like I don't like that shade. Sorry, my hand's getting kind of numb. This is what happens when you play drums for years and you don't practice proper technique. Basically, if when you're drumming, the repetitive motion can get to your wrist, but you can unlearn the bad performance technique, which won't negatively impact your wrists. So I'm trying to relearn how to play drums with proper technique in order to fix this. But it doesn't help that I have a desk job now, and since I'm on the computer most of my work day, that repetitive motion also attributes to my hand and wrist. Then also I work out every day too, so that kind of doesn't help. Oh, I'm glad you're liking it. I'm just like never sure if something is turning out the way, you know. I wonder if Kaneko's game ever did. I haven't been paying attention to it because of all of like the personal stuff that's been going on with me. But I'm like, I don't know what's going on with that. It sucks because I'm like thinking about like light theory when I'm trying to do this, like just like how light should work and how the colors should bounce off and stuff. But it's just not translating exactly how I want. It's like it's kind of annoying, kind of irritating. Not gonna lie, would not recommend it. So let's see. If that's the pinky, that means that their thumb would be like here. And then I could probably delete some of this. Oop. Why is it? I feel like I'm hearing songs that I've never heard, or at least haven't heard in years. Aoba Park. I mean, good song. Sounds good to me. Oof. Let me try stretching my hand a little. Was that a good wowzers or a bad wowzers? Because I feel like you could definitely say wowzers derogatory, you know. Okay. Pull some color here. I like this song because it reminds me of when I used to be in a band. Because sometimes when you're playing, you just come up with a riff you really like, and everyone just gets into a groove, and you're just constantly like you're just like really feeling it, and that's what this song feels like. It feels like they were like, yeah, I like this. You know, it's I don't know. It's kind of it's just like it's nostalgic to me in that way. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like reverse engineer the outline. It's something I do, which is not smart. It's not the easiest way to do this, and it's not the most efficient. But I like to basically have like an underpainting of the color that the skin is or whatever. But then as I'm fixing it, I like will adjust and try to remove it at the same time. Not the smartest thing to do, but you know, it's a thing that I do. What I'm trying to do is fall on what the darkest dark of the skin should be. The problem that I'm having is I don't have dark skin, so this is like all new to me. So it's just like, oh, this is close enough, you know? That bass. Like, if anything, Shoji Meguro should still work on Megaten. I would like for him to like be the guy who comes up with like a cool bass riff for like every game. Because his bass is always cool, and I forget the name of the composer for Megaten currently, for SMT specifically, but he always comes up with cool drums, and I feel like them working together would probably make like the peak Megaten music. It is. It's it's so bad that they restrict the like that to like the skeeviest thing. Oof. But you know, I think one of Atlas's biggest flaws is they tend to like put the best stuff in like the weirdest places. Let's not forget that Sound Test is like not even in the game, and it would probably be my favorite song in the game if it was in the game, but it's just not. And there's no reason. There's like literally no reason. Okay, maybe I might actually just like pass on the texture just because I'm lazy. Can I get away with it? We'll see. We'll see. So I'm not really liking this shoulder now. I'm trying to go with the way Kaneko constructs these characters because he makes them really giraffe necky and really like. I mean, I think him and Sorajima kind of do the giraffe neck a little bit, but I think it comes out most for Kaneko in Digital Devil Saga, where their necks are just they're like pretty long, and I'm trying to do that within reason. But the problem is when you're an artist, a lot of your art looks like you or something, or like your own body is a really large frame of reference, which is why for my characters, they tend to have no neck because I don't have a neck. You know, I'm a medical marvel. I was born without one. You know. Okay, maybe I'll make this the whole under thing just the skin tone because it's really confusing me. I feel like this should be a little thicker. It's not like I think that's part of why. Like if I'm gonna psychoanalyze myself, it's probably part of why I don't like drawing humans because I'm like, oh man, it's gonna turn out looking like me. But I will say I'm having a lot of fun drawing this. I genuinely thought I'd get tired of drawing within the first like 30 minutes or so of the stream. But no, I'm having fun. This is fun. It reminds me of the old days when I used to draw all the time. I should really draw more often. I'm thinking about one of the things that I've been working on, like that's not Megaten related, is I've been working on a children's book, and I think I should like really focus in on that because I do enjoy drawing a lot. Like it's one of my most favorited hobbies. So I think that it's probably the one where I get to express myself the most, and I feel like I'm actually doing something. Stop telling me to draw. Get out. Ryota Kazuka, that's who I'm talking thinking of. Yeah, like if Ryota Kazuka and Meguro like really work together, like genuinely, I think they would come up with a very good soundtrack. Okay, hold on. Okay, so that pose is possible with the hand, but it looks awkward. Something about it looks weird. It's because I think it's because I put the hold on. What if maybe it's because I also made the pinky so crazy long. I think maybe like that. Also, I forgot this hair is right here too. Something about it just something about the hand is like really bothering me. I'm not usually this bad at hands too. I would say I'm like at least mediocre with hands. Ghetto is not cool. Let's not spread lies during the live stream. Godot is like I just think that he's annoying. But I like that he has this little arc in towards the end of the game. That makes him like at least not the worst thing that happened, you know. But he's definitely not cool. Oops. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. Let's think about this. Because I'm trying to capture the way that it goes like this. You get like a little pudge here, and then the finger. Maybe because this is also kind of bright. Maybe it's just optically kind of weird. That way. And then... if I do like this, maybe? I feel like that's kind of fixing it. Okay. Oop. I don't know, we're doing pretty good. I feel good about this drawing so far. I don't want to jinx it, but it's not feeling like a terrible drawing. What the hell? Oh, I don't... that can't be right. Yes, it was. Okay. Alright, we're going to do some face reconstruction. Did I really put all the shadow on this thing? So dumb of me. Okay. Oh, I know why. Wasn't that dumb of me, but I get it now. I get what I was thinking. Sounds about. Listen to the bass. Such a good bass line. If you told me this stream was gonna be mostly me drawing, I would not have believed you. Because I think even last night I was like, oh, I guess I'll just play Etrian. But I'm actually genuinely shocked no one wants to see me play Etrian. Because Like I said, if I play the game, it like almost guarantees that I'm gonna make a video on it. Like more recently, like whatever games I play during the stream is probably gonna be the thing that I carry through. Let me read. Godot is bald. That's all I know so far. I haven't played beat Metaphor working on it. No, Jimenez is not bald. Jimenez is short haired. That's completely different. Let's not rewrite history. Unless you're talking about Gore, Commander Gore, he's bald, but he's like a good bald. Godot is like evil bald. Like evil bald is like when the baldness makes you look like you're a bad person. Good bald is when the baldness makes you look friendly. There's a distinctive difference, and I it's very specific. But I will say, Forte, um, Metaphor is like literally like one of the best things. What do you think about the rumors of a Metaphor re-release? Okay, sorry. So for me, it's like obvious. Like we already knew that was gonna happen. That's what Atlas has been doing for decades. Actually, Atlas has been doing it since Atlas has been a thing. Literally, Megami Tensei Digital Devil Story got a re-release, and it got it a couple years after the game came out. So this concept is not new to Atlas, and I don't see it as a surprise that Metaphor would get a re-release, especially considering we're getting things like the Switch 2. I don't think that it's like something that we shouldn't be surprised by. I think we should just know. We should expect a re-release from Atlas or a remake or whatever you want to call it, or an enhanced port, just because that's been their modus operandi. They've done it for so long that literally there's no reason to think otherwise. So I think it's happening. I mean, I don't think it's happening. I know it's happening, and I'm not surprised. I just think that the idea of it being a rumor, or even worse, being a leak, is kind of like being like, oh, rumor has it water can be wet. It's like, yeah, I know. I'm doing it right now. I'm consuming wet water right now. Like, that's how I feel about it. No, I want to hear actual memories of you, not this version. So I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like Metaphor is gonna get a re-release. We already kind of saw it happening. I suspect that we'll probably get like some of the data inside the game, like when people were data mining it. It suggested that some characters would be play or were supposed to be playable at some point, but then weren't. I think that we'll get confirmation of that also. Like we'll get to either play as those characters, or I don't know, those characters will become like the follower bonds or something. Point is, yeah, that doesn't feel like a rumor to me. It just feels like pointing out the obvious. Okay. So this is where my color blindness really screws me over, is with reds, because red is the coat in my eyes that's damaged. So something like this, like doing a really nice lip, is like pretty impossible. Because for me it's hard mode, but I can try my darndest. I sure can. do, 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 do. No! Okay, I don't like the way that looks. I have to fix that. Do you think it'll be DLC like they said they're gonna do? My thing is, I would hope that it's DLC because the idea of spending another like $50+ on a game that just has a little bit more content would be annoying. But if you know Vengeance and if you know SMT for Apocalypse, the lore there tends to be, oh yeah, you know, it was supposed to be like a, well, not Vengeance, but specifically Apocalypse. It was supposed to be just like a add-on or whatever, or enhanced re-release that became its own thing. There's also the chance that that might happen instead. It might just become big enough that it becomes its own thing. And I wouldn't be surprised by that either. But my money is currently on they're just doing an enhanced re-release, even though they said they're not going to do that anymore. They said they're going to focus on like what I forgot what they said exactly, but even though that's what shouldn't be done anymore, I feel like they're still going to do it because they can get away with it. Because I remember with Vengeance, people were defending it, and my hot take on Vengeance is specifically that it should not have happened that way. It should have been just a DLC. Because it definitely wasn't substantive enough to be another release of the same game. But I feel like I'm in the minority of that like stance when it comes to Vengeance. Come on, bruh. See, past LaRue has screwed present LaRue over by doing this underpainting thing and then forgetting where it ends. So it's kind of tricky. Okay, let me do it for the hair at least so I don't forget. The whole point of it is so as I'm blending away and stuff, that I keep the core idea of it and where I wanted things to be in the first place. I don't know if it even works or if it makes sense, but it's just what I do. I think SMTVV should have been the first version without Tao. I will say Tao is an annoying character, but I don't know if that's just a me thing. Maybe because she was too representative of traditional Megaten without actually having substance. Or at least not enough substance. But they kind of fixed that in Vengeance a little bit. But I also just don't really care for Vengeance, so. Trying to give them enough neck to be more. But it's also like I'm like shaving one side, then realizing it doesn't match the other side, then shaving the other side. Okay, let's get back to the mouth. Okay, so I think here and here. I'm gonna delete that part because it's just not necessary right now. And I don't want the colors to bleed in to it. I want this part to be the most. Now, generally, what I would probably do is I'd probably try to give the tattoo some depth too. I don't know. I've never really had to draw on tattoos before. Like I don't really know best practice for making it look realistic. What looks professional? This painting? No, it does not look professional. It looks decent though. I think that if I was more comfortable drawing drawing humans, I wouldn't be so blasé about it. But when I see this, I'm like, eh. Especially given how much time I've spent on it already, I'm like, I don't think it's professional looking. I think it just looks consumer grade. You know how they'll rate things based on like quality or the intended use. They're like, okay, this is professional grade. This is like enjoyer grade, and no, this particular piece is consumer grade. It's something a consumer would make and use. I think what would make this piece better is if I spent a lot more time on it. Like, I have some pretty good digital art pieces, and those are all usually that I usually spend like 4 or 5 hours on them. Yeah. I was working on a Hidehito Aoki video, but there's not a lot to say. One of the things I will say is like, one of the things I would say is that like for him, it's just kind of sad. Once he passed, he just like disappeared from being mentioned. And I don't know if it's a cultural thing where they just don't mention people who passed, or if it was like because his passing was tragic, because it was an accident. But there's just not a whole lot to it in terms of like people even talking about him past, like after he passed. I can't really say much. If I made a video on him, it'd be like 5 minutes long. That's how little there is in the way of people talking about him in a meaningful way. Which kind of, it's terrifying. That's actually a terrifying prospect, to kind of just be being forgotten. Like, oof. Would not like that at all, personally. Oh, that's why that's like that. It's going to be a reoccurring issue. Trying to think if I have any other really interesting projects in the works. My video on the history of Atlas garage kits is coming out sometime this year, as long as I don't die. Like, sounds like a joke, but I'm not joking. There's like a non-zero chance that I might die this year, which is kind of crazy to say. What else do I got? Oh, I'm remaking my Rhinos, but I made 3 different Rhino videos that goes over the history of Rhino Kuzunoa. I think you're doing a job for what you consider quick. Okay, as long as you're happy, that's good. Hi, Artemis. Sorry. I'm like looking at 2 different chats. Lyserg says say hi to Artemis, so that's me saying hi to Artemis. But What was I saying? Oh, so a while ago I made a couple of videos, 3 to be specific, that go over Rhino. One goes over like the real world mythology of Rhino, and then one goes over the actual human people who were related to Rhino in real life, and then the last one goes over like the video game like history. And I'm combining those 3 into one video, but I'm also just redoing it with more information now that I have just way more information about them. Because over the past few years, I've just collected so much stuff. Um, and as I go through them, I'm like, oh, that's what that was for, or oh, that's what that means. So I find this information, and I'm like, okay, let me just put it in my category for like like a future video or whatever. And for some of my older videos, where at the time I only had 1 or 2 sources, like they've kind of like outgrown themselves in the sense that I've gotten more information about those topics in order to the point where I can make a like several minutes long video that's a lot more comprehensive. And I just got to the point where I'm like, oh, maybe I should just do it. So that's on the books too. I'm really excited because I think the Rhino lore is one of the most interesting things that Alice has done in terms of like making something that's not based in reality but also has real world ties. Sorry, their jaw was too square for me. Like if someone put a gun to my head and told me to draw a androgynous character, I would not be able to do it. So this has been like okay, maybe I just gotta erase this and I'll feel better. What does that look like? Yeah, that looks better to me. That's not bothering me anymore. Okay. Part of why I like drawing with traditional media is that when I'm working, usually what I'll do is I'll just take several steps back and I'll look at it because if I'm drawing or painting a really big piece, like I'll have it propped up on a stand and I'll be able to see it, and it really helps. It like genuinely helps with figuring out what the issues are. The only equivalent you could do is you could just zoom out like this, but it just doesn't hit the same way. It feels like I'm still missing something, you know. All right, all right, all right. Hey, also hi, Muno Gita Garu. Wait, Muno Gita Gaharu. That's a crazy name. Hi, hi, Catlock. I'm not sure if you're reading chat, so you can tell me more about your past in graphic design. I've always wondered about it. I'm currently doing graphic design at university. Oh, okay, I can tell you. So, what started me with graphic design is that when I was in high school, I was in a small learning community that focused on art and animation. So we had classes for filmmaking, where we learned how like the traditional filmmaking stuff and how to write a script. We had classes in like film editing. We had classes in animation and fundamental drawing, and then we had a class in graphic design. And since I was like graphic design always kind of came natural to me. Uh-oh. Oh no, not enough memory. Sorry, I kind of messed up my thing just for a second. I gotta close some stuff apparently because I actually used up all my memory right now in the chat closed. But basically, from high school, I developed like a lot of like the fundamental skills to do graphic design. So I didn't go to college for it. Instead, I got a job doing graphic design for a small print company. Hold on 1 second. I gotta like blow my nose or something. I'm like super congested. I'll be. Oh, Christian. Oh, hi. The Christian Monday, and also hi, bot. I'm going to block you. Um, 1 second. Okay. Um. So anyway, my first job was doing working for a small graphic design company. Sorry, a print company, and I had learned that's where I learned a lot of stuff when it comes to pre-press. So a lot of it was kind of like the way my career was more like it was like learning through the trade itself. So I learned how to print, design for print. So I learned how to use programs like Quark and InDesign. But I also learned how to manage like smaller scale printers and also like the big printers that are used for like big manufacturing for like business cards and letterheads and stuff. The really unglamorous printing. And after a while, I just got tired of doing that. So then I moved on from there to being like I thought I would be able to find a different graphic design position, but I didn't find one. So instead, I ended up becoming a I ended up working at a grocery store. Hey Mio. But while I was working at the grocery store, I did find two different graphic design positions. One working for this guy who did a bunch of like all of that the business material that you would use for small local businesses. He would do like the like banners, business cards, logo design. And since I already had some of the skills, I started working for him. And I'm not gonna lie, his stuff sucked. Like he was really bad at it, and like most of his team was. But I was pretty decent because a lot of the things they asked me to do were things that like photo correction, a lot of manipulation stuff, color correction, and I got really good at it. But I got tired of that too, because while I was doing that, I was also working at the grocery store, and I was working at another place doing graphic design, where I did graphic design for e-commerce for uh, a phone company that made like phone cases and stuff. And I really liked that because it was like you take pictures of the products and you like edit the pictures and then you get it all ready. Like I liked that process a lot. It was really fun too. But they relocated to like Arizona, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you can come with us, and you'll keep your job." And I'm like, "I'm not going to Arizona." So that job ended, and then I ended up quitting the other one. There was a time where I was working on getting a graphic design degree because I thought it would be like the next logical step, but then I started to really hate graphic design, mostly because all of the graphic design positions I was doing related to interfacing directly with customers, and customers are dumb. They'll be like, "Oh, we want to design logo. We want a logo for our like gym," and I'm like, "Okay, cool. That sounds cool. I could do that." And the way I would do the design is I would make like 40 iterations based on some of the description they gave. I basically would make like a mood board and like show them what my process was gonna be like. We'd go back and forth for a while sometimes. And then at the end, they would be like, "Oh yeah, you know that first design you did, the one that we didn't like? Well, now we like it, so let's go with that." And I'm like, "I knew that this was the one that you wanted, because it's the one that made the most sense. Why did you make me do all this extra work?" So like, I just got like annoyed by that like part of it, and I didn't like it anymore. And when I think also for me, I was more interested in just learning how things work, not actually doing it. So once I figured out and understood, oh, this is how it works, I wanted to move on. And that's kind of the gist of my graphic design. I don't want to print anymore. Yeah, basically. Also, hi, Colomio. um, but I mean, I'll say that there is some parts, like some tenets of graphic design that I still use, and you'll see it like show up a little bit in like other stuff that I do. Also, hi, Digital Devil Dude. For those of you guys who are just joining, by the way, this live stream is a fundraiser so I can get a new car. So uh, this is my birthday week. I was born on Wednesday, but on Sunday I had this horrible thing happen where a guy crashed into my parked car. Turns out the guy doesn't have insurance. Turns out my insurance won't cover it. And as a direct result, I'm like, okay, well, I'm using my savings, but also I could use some help. So I decided to do a GoFundMe just to kind of help bridge that gap of like the money I have versus what I need. Otherwise, I'm gonna be carless for. I think I projected about like four to maybe even a whole year, 4 months to a whole year. It's already kind of changed a few things. Like I already have some things that are on the books. Like I'm supposed to go on a trip in a couple of weeks, but now that trip's gonna be very frugal. I'm not gonna do a lot of things that I had planned because I don't have the money for it, and I'm just penny pinching a lot. So I'm not eating out anymore, which I wasn't doing to begin with, but now I'm really not doing it. Basically, I'm just like not in a good place in terms of that. Plus, my health hasn't been good. The point is, I'm trying to save money, and also this would be a good way to get me out of the hole that I'm in already, because I only have a few thousand saved, and I need at least 10,000 to get a car, to get one that's not going to break down immediately. So if you're here and you're like, oh, consider using your Twitch Prime sub if you have Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime, whatever, or you could super chat. Once I'm done with this, I'm probably gonna move on to playing some games, or I might draw something else that's not a human character, because like I like drawing this, but I feel like I'm taking a long time, and it's not that fun to watch. I don't think. Okay, I basically didn't like anything I did right there. It kind of looks all bad. But yeah, that's the point of the stream. The point of the stream is to fundraise, so I could not be financially destitute in the attempt to buy a car. And like I mentioned earlier, I have some pretty concerning medical diagnosis that I'm also not wanting to use all my savings, because I don't want to be put into a very bad spot if I have to pay for like cancer treatments or something, which is what might actually happen. But all that stuff being said, even though this week has not been that good to me, the kindness of strangers has really made me feel better, in terms of like remembering that there are just kind people in the world, which sounds really like silly to say, but when you have like back-to-back bad things happen to you consistently, it does mess with your like perception of like people and the world at large, because a lot of things could be done, like a lot of things could be circumnavigated by just people being more kind to each other. You know what I mean? I know that I'm making the lips blue, but I like blue, so. Ooh. Taking a quick wrist break. Yeah. Drop Petite Frost. I might do that. I think I have one more person who I'm supposed to follow. One second, though. 1 second. I think I have one other person who donated that I have to like follow through on. But I don't know if they left me a request, actually. Or did I ask for it? Okay. Probably not. And I think the guy who commissioned this might be gone too, but I want to finish. I want to at least want to finish the basic parts of it before I move on, which is the face, the eyes, I mean. I'm gonna cheese it a little bit because I'm kind of lazy. I think I like those eyebrows. Okay, yeah, they're pretty good. They're a pretty good foundation. I want to work around the eyebrows, so I'm not gonna actually merge the layers yet. Bruh, what's happening? Oh, you're still here. Also, Catlock, what kind of graphic design are you looking to do? There's just so much, you know. Like, there's so many different types of graphic design. Most of my work was pre-press, so, and I only dabbled into e-commerce. Oh, let's take a quick Pascal break too, because Pascal wants to say hi. Look at this guy. He's very fat now. He's gotten fat not because of choice or anything, not because I'm letting him, but basically what happened was Nemo, who's the cat right here, Nemo got pretty sick and he wasn't able to eat. And since I couldn't really control how much food was available, I left the same portions out, and Pascal would basically eat both Nemo's food and his food. So he gained like 3 pounds. So he's like he's kind of tanky. He was already kind of built big, like he was already muscular, but he's kind of gotten past the muscle. Now he's just fat, but only a little bit. Only a little bit. Sorry, he doesn't want me to mess with his fat belly. Come on, he used to love it. Look at his fat belly. Like he's only a little pudgy. He's not that bad. And now that Nemo's doing well, Nemo's eating his fair share, and I've also just been giving them less food. Not in an inhumane way, but just in a way to slowly get him get him there. But he just really wants attention right now. So I have to like pet him, otherwise he's gonna go crazy. But this is Pascal. He mostly just wants me to pet him though. But I can't. I gotta finish this drawing. Anyways, back to drawing. If you didn't know, I have two cats. They're both rescues, Nemo and Pascal. Pascal is obviously named after Pascal the dog, and Nemo is named after this animated movie slash comic strip, I guess. I believe it's called Nemo's Adventures in Slumberland. I liked it as a kid. Like it was like a foundational like thing that made me like animation in general. So yeah. I feel like the nose is kind of weird. My problem is I'm also not good at drawing noses that aren't black people noses. Because, you know, I have a black people nose. But, you know, Seraph has a Anglo nose. Okay, so let's see. I'd do something like this, maybe. I feel like I'm not giving the nose enough like depth or something. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Maybe I'm doing too much with the nose. I always like this theme. It's like that's that. Case closed. What's the name of this song again? On the bridge in the morning. But it just sounds like, you know, like a debrief of like a like a detective drama. Give her no nos. Can you do the rest of it? Rhino isn't the coolest in the series, but it's definitely one of the best ideas. It's one of the most original ideas that they did, actually. It's kind of why I have so much respect for like Kaneko's like team, like that era. Part of why I think it's so powerful is because they really did come up with some genuinely interesting ideas for video games, and people just didn't vibe with a lot of them. And they didn't hit. So because they didn't do the financial numbers that they're supposed to do, it resulted in them being basically left, you know. But some of them were interesting ideas that just weren't executed well. A good example of that would be Makin. Makin is super interesting of a game, but it just wasn't executed in a way that could make a successful franchise. Though I'm like, if they did a Makin arcade game at that time, it probably would have been very popular. Because there's already a slasher, first-person slasher arcade game that existed at that same time, but they could have monopolized it. It could have been like the next big one. Ugh, my allergies are so bad. And it's really only my fault because I decided to wear this old shirt that was dusty, literally dusty. Oof. I'm sorry, but Rhino is the coolest. I disagree. Rhino is one of the coolest, if not, like I said, one of the most interesting ideas in that how it's very original. And I like Rhino 2's formula a little better. Rhino 2 is actually one of my favorite Atlas games of all time, mostly because Dan Tsukigata is a character from that game, and he's one of the best written characters of all of Atlas games. Genuinely one of the most interesting and complex characters that Atlas has ever made. I gotta actually move my whole arm. That one was better, but not best. One of the tricks to like drawing is you're supposed to move your you're supposed to curve with your shoulder and not with your wrist. But it's annoying because I can do it easily. I can do that easily traditionally, but digitally it's like I have a hard time doing like a good line the first time. That one was better, but I want it to be more. Maybe if I actually look at what I'm doing. That one was pretty good. I think their eyes are more like... No, okay, they're basically just like serfs. Bro, this is gonna be a thing. Okay. These curves don't matter so much. And one of my teachers, when I used to take, when I was like taking acrylic painting, one of the things he taught me that I always have used though when it comes to eyes, is that eyes are not supposed to be like the iris or whatever, the outside part of the eye isn't supposed to be like a true white. No, this is not Kaya. Also, hi, Spider. I feel like if I was gonna do surgery on this character right now, I think what I need to do is I think I probably just have to do the outlines like it would probably just make it look more finished. So I'm just trying to see what it would look like if I actually went through and did it this way. I'm not averse to adding outlines, especially for texture. I think it kind of looks better this way, actually. Maybe it's mostly because I'm just like I'm not a huge fan of how the hair turned out. And I can fix all the things I didn't like. So like this hand being weird isn't so weird when I add the... Let's see. Because it's like this. And then there's the other finger here. Oh, it looks less put together in a sense, but it looks more put together in another sense. I think part of it is the way the head is shaped too. Do they have too big of a chin? No, we do that. See, that's how I would... I feel like that looks better. I don't know. Hold on. Hold on. Yes, it is DDS. They're not supposed to look constipated. They're supposed to look pensive. Let's see. this layer because it's kind of making it hard to see what I'm doing. What the hell? Why isn't it doing the thing anymore? What the heck? This is some user error on my end, and I don't know what I did. I might not be able to draw anymore because I don't know what's going on. Okay, never mind. That was a close call. Could probably do the texture now too. No, I don't like that already. Oops, oops, oops. What I do? What I do? Boop. All right. So I'm just adding some background to make it just to make it a little easier for me to visualize what I'm doing. All right. All right. I don't know why the line of the edges of this are so rough. They look just like, I don't know. Thank you, Pseudonism. That's cool. Thank you so much. I almost forgot that the whole point of this was that I'm supposed to be raising money. All right. So just a reminder, I'm doing a fundraiser. This is the whole point of this stream is to earn some funds. Thank you so much, Pseudonism. That actually does help quite a bit. Currently, if I look at the Kickstarter, or sorry, the GoFundMe, the goal is 8,000 and we're at 5,160, which is amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the link in the chats again for anyone who wants to donate directly. Otherwise, you can donate by leaving a sub like soon, which thank you, or you could donate directly. You could if you're on YouTube, you can do a super chat. whatever, anything you can helps. Like literally, $5 is like crazy helpful. So, thank you, Pseudonism, for the donation. It will help me so much. Yeah, the lines are kind of jaggedy. I don't like that. But at the same time, I don't know why they're jaggedy. Is it this? The minimum this? No, I think it's this. No, that's not it. Guess we'll never know why it's jaggedy, unfortunately. I'll just go ahead and make this all black, or at least blacker. Did I finish the whole playlist already? I think I did. Yep, I did. Okay. This person did a top 100 Persona, Digital Devil, Saga, Mega 10, whatever tracks. Colomio, do you like eating soups in the morning? I'm eating instant ramen. I don't like eating instant ramen because it's so much salt. But I do like eating soups in the morning. But I'm more of like a miso person. Or chicken noodle soup, like those basic types. But not often. Most of the time, my breakfasts are like oatmeal or pancakes and eggs. Very American, but you know. I'm assuming this top 100 is just their personal opinion, but Strange Journey, always a good choice. Like, I'm one of the people that actually really likes the Strange Journey OST. I feel like it has a lot of good songs. And more importantly, it fits the theming and the vibe of the game, which is what you would want for an OST, I'd imagine. Sorry, my allergies are really kicking my butt today. Okay. Literally, I'm at like the lightest white. Like, it's so close to being white at this point. But that's just how Seraph is. They're basically just white. Or a lot of these characters are very, very much just white. Okay. This one's a little squirrelier, and he's way smaller, but let's show you Nemo real quick. Here's Nemo. Wait. Over there. Nemo. He's not going to do it. Nemo doesn't like being put on his back, so he hates this. Pascal does, though, but Nemo doesn't. Nemo's also way smaller than Pascal. Like, both in terms of weight, but also in terms of, like, just like length or whatever. He's a very small cat. He's got a freakishly long tail. Like, his tail is very long. Like, to the point where, like, it's actually, it's like half his body length, I think. Both Nemo and Pascal are, like, chill in terms of, like, their general personality, but Pascal is way more, like, enjoying of being picked up and petted and stuff. Nemo is more of, like, he likes to lay on your lap and stuff. So he's not a big fan of me doing this, especially if I put him on his back. But Nemo's a rescue, Pascal's a rescue. They're both cool. Okay, let's see. Thank you, Na. Also, hi, King Mikado. The King Mikado? Nice. Wait, Nana. As in the anime / manga? Nice. How did the crash happen? Okay, so Sunday night I was at I went shopping or whatever. Came home from the shopping trip. And what I do is I actually meal prep my entire breakfasts. Usually for the work week, I make a lot of like breakfast burritos or breakfast sandwiches or whatever. So what I'll do is I'll cook them, and then I freeze them, and then I microwave them at work, or I microwave them and eat it on the way to work during my commute. So I'm there making my breakfast burritos, where I hear a huge, a very, very loud boom. Now I live in a not so safe area, so I'm accustomed to some booms, but it didn't sound like gunshots. It sounded like almost like an explosion. So I go outside and I just see my car on the sidewalk. Like literally that picture is the first thing I did, because as soon as I heard the boom, I started recording and I had my phone out, my camera out rather, to start recording if I needed to. And then I did record. I recorded a video of me walking into it, the crash site. Saw that my car was totaled. I could tell right away because I'm not a car expert, but I definitely know enough about cars to be able to tell you. And what looked like what happened. Well, I know what happened. Guy was driving about 60 miles per hour in an area that's supposed to be like 30 to 40 miles per hour. And while he was driving, the front right tire popped. He lost control, he spun, and he hit the back left side of my car. And he hit it so hard that it pushed my car over 5 or 6 feet, and it pushed my car onto the sidewalk. And because it pushed it onto the sidewalk, the front right tire of my car was also popped, but that axle that the wheels were on was bent, and then the axle for the other wheel, the back left one that you see in the picture, that one is completely broken. It sucks too because my car was super well maintained. I took a lot of good care of my car. Also, hi Diamond Diller. So basically, he hit my car. He tried to run, but his car was not working because he hit my car so bad that it messed up his car too. So he couldn't flee the scene. I called the cops. During that whole part of it of like calling the cops and talking to the cops, he gave what we believed to be his like insurance. He gave us a AAA card. Was like, oh yeah, here. The cops didn't think anything of it. I didn't think anything of it, but also, my first ever real car crash. So I feel like maybe my naivete and my trust of them was a little too high, because it turns out that he didn't have insurance. He actually, you know, he doesn't. The card he gave me was the card that they give you for when you want to call a tow, or you want to or you have need roadside assistance from AAA. It wasn't the insurance at all, because I immediately filed a claim with his insurance and my insurance, and that's what they did. They told me, oh yeah, it's not the right thing. And then on top of all of that, my insurance was like, oh yeah, your coverage, it only covers damage if you were in the car. And I'm like, what? Like what kind of like backwards concept is that? Like I have to be in the car and hurt for my coverage to work. Mind you, I have a lower what do you call it? My insurance isn't full coverage. It's a more basic standard coverage, and that's more to do with the fact that I was one of the mind that it would never happen to me. I was like, oh, like I'm never gonna get in a car crash. Why do I need like good insurance? And then of course, not only did I get in a car crash, but it's someone with no insurance, and I don't get covered. So now I don't have a car. And like I said earlier, I have savings. I don't have enough savings to buy a car outright though. And if I just use my savings alone, it will take me approximately 6 months to a year to afford a pretty mediocre car that's probably gonna fail on me. But I figured if I can get at least like 8,000 to 10,000 on through donations, I'd be able to afford a better car. Not the best, but a car that I wouldn't have to worry about. That would be comparable to the car that I lost, because my car was really well maintained. So all that to say that not only do I have to deal with all that stuff, but I also have to sue that guy. I have to sue him because, frankly, he put me in a really bad spot and he lied to my face. And the way that he was acting made me think that it's not the first time he's done this kind of thing, which is really sucky. Like, don't ever, if you're, you have to accept responsibility for your actions, and that guy didn't do that. Really bothered me. Really bothered me. I don't know any of the anime or manga related. Oh, okay. Well, Nana is like a really amazing anime. I like it a lot. Hi, Ashley. I'm actually gonna call it on this drawing just because I've actually went overboard on how long I'm supposed to be working on it, and I don't necessarily like it. But I hope you like it. Um, uh, for the record, this is the second drawing I drew. Let me show you guys the first one. Oh, come on. So I don't remember how this works. So that's the second drawing I drew. This is the first one. A jaunty little black frost. Okay. Hi, Chief Kairu. I'm glad you like it, Forte. Okay. Oh no. No, you guys can see that I'm playing Raid Shadow Legends. I don't care about this. Okay. You didn't yield on green? Oh, Calamio. Yeah, don't go 60 into 30 for sure. Don't lie to others for sure. Like, yeah, I play Raid Shadow Legends. Don't make fun of it. Don't make fun of me for playing Raid Shadow Legends. I do it. I do it all the time. Forte, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a different serif on paper because it'll turn out better. And no, I don't have I don't have a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor, but I'll just draw it again, but on paper and better, because I can draw way better on paper, and especially with watercolor. But I'm glad you enjoyed at least this small amount of art that I was able to do today. Yeah, by Forte. Okay. All of that being said, no. I didn't play. I didn't start playing Raid because of the ads. I started playing Raid out of just blind curiosity because it's such a meme that I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe I'll do this because it can't be that bad. Like, 'cause people make fun of Raid all the time, so I just assumed that if I played it, I'd actually enjoy it. But 1 second, I'm gonna take a quick potty break. I will literally be back in like less than 5 minutes. I don't have a away camera thing, so I'm gonna put it on my starting thing. 1 second. Okay. Okay. I'm back. My bed's dirty because my cat used the litter box and he decided to not wipe his paws or anything. He just climbed on my bed, which is gross, and I have to constantly wash these sheets. Anyway, I'm back. Sorry. I wanted to show you guys how much bigger Pascal is compared to Nemo. So, look, guys. He was yelling because he wants me to open the door to let him out. But look at them. They're so obedient because they let me do this. Also, Exia, thank you for following me. All right. Look at them. They literally don't let me. I mean, let me do whatever I want. It's kind of crazy. They're so calm and patient. Oh, you do? Nice. I do have to paint more. I think I'll start doing that more often. The thing that's funny about having doing this to your cats is some of them like it. Like Pascal likes this, but Nemo's disassociating. He's like he literally stops like thinking or look or anything, and he just kind of goes his own way. Okay.